You are now listening to the iWalter Show. Real talk about nothing.
It's raining cats and dogs. Steve's plane must be grounded. Mother, I won't be having any dinner tonight.
No dinner?
No.
Oh, don't be silly. Where do you think all that strength comes from? Those gods? No, from my cooking.
I have to help Steve. He's waiting at the airport and there are no planes.
Look, you're not so smart that you can't take a mother's advice. Now, this is no kind of a night for you to be flying around in that outfit of yours.
Mother,
this is the kind of a night for you to watch TV or read the newspaper, eat your roughage.
but the fate of the free world depends on me.
All right. Eat first. Save the free world later. You can't be a decent martyr on an empty stomach.
This can't wait. The nation needs Wonder Woman.
And what about Wonder Woman? Does the nation care what she needs? Like a fellow, for example, huh?
Please, Mom, not now.
Oh, sure, not now. Never. How do you expect to get a husband flying around all the time? Isn't it about time that you decide to stay in one spot for a change? You don't know how it feels to be the mother of an unmarried daughter your age. Why, the whole neighborhood's talking. Look at Lucille Maxwell. Why, she's 24 years old and got 3 kids already.
But, Mom, she's not married.
Details. Always details. Will you stop eating when I'm talking to you?
Mom, I'm caught in a rush.
Stop! I get you dates with the finest and the most eligible MDs, CPAs, PhDs, and what happens? Nothing. What do you want, anyway?
An M-A-N. Mom, are you all right?
Oh, nothing. Just a few pains.
Mom, you must go see a doctor.
Doctor? What kind of a doctor knows the pain in a mother's heart, whose daughter is single and 28 million years old?
27.
Oh, what's a million? All right, Diana. Save the world. But don't forget to wear your galoshes.
There's a job to be done by Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, who knows she has the strength of Hercules, who knows she has the wisdom of Athena, who knows she has the speed of Mercury, and who thinks she has the beauty of Aphrodite.
You've got a job to do. If you get a chance, stop by Kansas City and say hello to Uncle Amos. You know how much he likes you. And don't forget to pick up the phone and call when you get there, wherever you're going.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird brain. It's a plane. It's iWalter. iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, a strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
Good morning, everyone. This is Walter and iWalter. You know what? I actually didn't expect to do a show today, but that's okay because I actually had more than enough time. Yeah, I'm at my normal time of almost 3 o'clock in the morning, but I was actually sent home tonight once again. It was kind of strange. I made sure I went through all the right loops at work and, you know, did what I needed to do to get myself back at the work after getting apparently sideswiped. I don't know if I told you the date. It's the 9th. It's October 9th, 2015. So I went through all the correct procedures at work, met with union stewards and union vice president and everything else. And I actually got one to walk over with me to my building of work, and he had asked these people where I work, my supervisors and stuff, to give me a hard time. Hey, is it important for me to be here? Because if you're going to discuss anything with Walter, you have to go through us first. And they said, no, that's okay. And then the next, about an hour later, not even, they turn around and wait till he leaves. And they say, oh, yeah, we decided you should go home right now. And we'll pay you for tomorrow, but we're going to discuss this on Monday. And we're going to see if you're, make sure you're safe. And we're going to decide what we want to do with you, which basically, if you read between the lines and through all the bullshit, they're just trying to figure out a way to get rid of me now. So I guess that's the one good thing I have to say. Unfortunately, that is good with unions, that if they work properly, they can actually help protect your job. That's the whole purpose why unions were originally set up anyway. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. So I might be coming back on Monday and find out I lost my job over something very stupid. Me tripping over something, reporting it because I, tripped and fell on a cement floor, which I thought, and fell on my back, that I thought would be a good idea, may now turn into me actually getting terminated. So, hey, if that would happen, I won't be afraid to hold back anymore. Trust me. And I think that's just ridiculous. You can't even, if you tell the truth, you should be fine. Well, that's bullshit. So I'm just letting folks know out there. Yeah. There's going to be no, basically it's going to be bare-fisted at that point when they decide to do that, probably on Monday. It was kind of funny because the gossip was just flying like wildfire today, or yesterday at work, because actually the day before as well, some guy said, oh yeah, somebody told me I asked where you were. Some guy was asking where I was, and they told him, oh, Walter is in Virginia right now. So I don't know if that was like an inside joke, because I honestly did not get it. He obviously, the person who asked about me, had no clue what they were talking about either, but they said, oh yeah, Walter's in Virginia. So then today I heard some more wild stories that, I'll be out for 2 weeks. I was taken out on the stretcher. And that's number 2, because there's 3 different ones I heard. And number 3, there was a third one, I thought. I'll be out for 2 weeks. I was taken out on the stretcher. Another one of these wild stories where I was in some other area besides at work. And they said, I wasn't in tonight. And this was a shop steward, they call him. The shop steward said, oh, have you seen Walter? And they said, well, I didn't see him at all. I don't think he even came in today. So I basically deliberately avoided the people in my building. And I guess it worked because nobody saw me, surprisingly. And they were when the shop steward said, well, no, or I don't think Walter's alive anymore, or something stupid like that. And he says, well, I just talked to him today. You know, I don't think he's around. It's like, no, I just talked to him today. So, yeah, it was some stupid shit on me. You know, they don't want to give me the time of day, but boy, they can gossip about me behind my back. And now it's just the whole objective is now to get rid of me. So, I'm the type of person, unfortunately, I won't go without a fight, and I have enough to not drop out without a fight. So that was the highlight of my day. I could have actually started probably at like 8 o'clock tonight, but I was just watching some stuff. I actually watched this movie I never saw before, and it was that movie. I actually put it in my Valley Girl. Yeah, that was like, I don't know when that came out. I'm gonna have to look now. Make sure my it was actually really good because it was one of those movies I think could actually get rent free if you have like Prime or Amazon Prime or something else. Like, well, it's not free. You're paying for it. Netflix. Anyway, it came out in 1983, and it had Nicolas Cage. He was so young in there. He looked like, a kid. He looked really good, too. I was like, oh, my God, that's. I mean, you can tell it was him. You could tell it was Nicolas Cage, but he looked really good, and he had his real hair. I mean, since then, he over the years, he had lost his hair, and then he basically, I think he must got not a hair weave, but what do you call that? A hair transplant, because then all of a sudden he had a full head of hair again. So, but he's a really good actor. I mean, he's made some shitty films, but he's made a lot of really good films, too. It's funny because he played this character, and obviously they were going with the whole Romeo and Juliet kind of atmosphere in his film, even though it was called Valley Girl. And I remember hearing, the term Valley Girl. I grew up when that whole thing was going on, where girls talked, and every other word was like. And I think I got stuck saying that because I grew up in the 80s, so I would know this. And I never had seen this film until just recently. So, anyway, he plays this character, Randy, Nicolas Cage does. Now, you're probably asking, well, it is a romance story between two, classes of people. You had the girls who lived in the Valley of California. I never knew where the word Valley Girl came from, but I think it was from this film. And Valley Girls were the girls who lived in the Valley, at least in this movie, but I'm sure that's where this came from. Wow. I was looking at the budget of the film back when it came out, $350,000. I mean, there's not much to the film that you really have to worry about besides people's budget. But, yeah, he played... Oh, excuse me, I'm already yawning. This character named Randy, Nicolas Cage, and his love interest was this girl who lived in the Valley. He was from Hollywood. And I can't remember the two classes of in like Romeo and Juliet and West Side Story, which was kind of like a version of Romeo and Juliet. But Deborah Foreman, she looked all right in the movie. She looks, personally, I think she looks hot now. I don't think she looked that great when she did the film. But, yeah, she looks a lot better now than she did back in the day. Yeah, and it was just, but he was the love interest, but it was the same premise as, like I was saying, like, what do you call it, Romeo and Juliet, probably more like West Side Story, which was actually taken, I still have to watch it. I think that's a musical, because I honestly never watched it yet. But, yeah, it kind of had that same premise, and it had a really good ending, because this is the first time I've actually ever saw the film over these years. And it was on Turner, what is it called? The Turner Music Classic or something. So, and again, it's the first time I ever actually saw this film, but they're films, by the way. If you see them, they're all classic, so to speak. Maybe some of them I wouldn't put in that category of being a classic movie, but they are unedited. So if there's nudity, you're going to see the nudity. They don't hold back, Because I watched a couple of films tonight that looked really cool. Never heard of them, and I can't remember the names besides the one Valley Girl. Because I always like, oh yeah, Valley Girl, I heard about this movie. And I just decided, like, okay, you know what? I'll probably actually watch it. So, which I did, and I was really, really impressed with. Again, because I grew up with that whole era of, that whole part of my life, being a teenager back then, actually. Actually, 83, I was probably less than a teenager. I probably was even just a preteen, borderline teenager. But anyway, yeah, the film was like actually really good. I mean, it had some moments that were kind of dumb, I guess. Not many. But, yeah, I was just surprised that how different he looked. I mean, you can tell it was him. I mean, it was without a doubt Nicolas Cage. But I know that movie. He did some, I think Raising Arizona. It was a friend of mine. Is that the name of the movie? My one friend, Trevor, and this is no joke, years ago, he made me watch that film. He says, yeah, this is a classic film. He made me sit down and watch. I was like, yeah, this is really good. So, let me see if I can find that under his name. Make sure I'm saying it right. I think it's, because that's an older film. You really have to go in his movies to find that. 'Cause that's, yeah, because they said to actually, what do you call it? Valley Girl was the first time he actually got, I guess, titled in the film, or he got like an actual title in a movie. But I thought it was called Raising Arizona was another Nicolas Cage movie, but that's a classic. And again, like I said, a friend made me watch it. Now I'm trying to look for the film. Yeah, here we go. Because it's about a kid. I forget. You know what? It's been so long. That was 1987, so I guess maybe, yeah, the other one was more of his first film. Yeah, it says an ex-con and an ex-cop meet, marry, and long for a child of their own. When they discover that High is unable to have children, they decide to snatch a baby. Not important. I was just kind of curious. It was my own personal interest. I should have done this off the air. But yeah, a movie called Raising Arizona. It was actually, again, thank you, Trevor, at the time that he made me watch that film. But, he's made some really good films. I actually did like, kind of, his remake, when he did the remake. He's done better films, but the remake of The Wicker Man. Now, on that aspect, I actually like, even though it's not technically a remake, I do like Rob Zombie's version, what I think is actually a remake of The Wicker Man, but in his own visual view. So that's why I kind of started later. It was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just watch this, not knowing that I would, which could have worked out my benefit, but I ended up staying up all night again. I actually waited up until like 5 a.m. to make sure I could watch. Well, I was actually doing a podcast, obviously, yesterday, too, on Wednesday or Thursday morning. Excuse me for that. Sorry, folks. But, and my time slot might change. If I lose my job, either they might put me on a day shift job, or I may be just looking for a new job altogether, which I don't want that to happen. But in that case, I'll have to change my way I air my show. I won't be doing late at night any longer, or early in the morning hours, if that's the case. Anyway, yeah, I was trying to look for ratings because I waited up till 5 a.m. because I actually was really interested. It caught my attention. I had no clue what it was going to be about, but they were really pushing about American Horror Story, the new season. And I watched it, and I was actually quite impressed because I never thought any of the seasons were that great. Some of them started out really good, and then they just took it like a landslide. Like the one they did with the Sane Asylum, that started out really good and it got really weak. Now, I'm hoping the fact they got Lady Gaga, it's going to probably, hopefully, stay pretty even on being entertaining and not lose that luster like the other seasons kind of seem to do after a while. They kind of fizzed out real quick. Now, I'm hoping for that because I really liked the way it started with Lady Gaga. My mother actually told me, she saw on some show that, oh, yeah, Lady Gaga is playing a vampire. And it was like, nah, I don't know about that. So when I watched it was like, yeah, but she's playing not like your typical vampire. I've seen similar movies where it's not with the fangs. They actually did use a little bit of symbolism because the one character that one of the vampires, so to speak, that is Lady Gaga's character's lover, he actually had a necklace on with fangs. So that's supposed to represent that, yeah, that was a symbolic thing saying, yeah, he is a vampire. And they actually showed in, they want him and Lady Gaga went to this film to try to find, you know, basically food for themselves, fresh blood, literally. They went to an outdoor screening of the original vampire, the black and white silent film, and they actually did play Bela Lugosi's "Dead" in the, one of the themes in the background music for the show. So yeah, they couldn't tell you enough. Yeah, this is about vampires, but it's refreshing in many ways because I was surprised. I found some article on Rotten Tomatoes, and they didn't give it like the greatest praise. They actually gave it quite the opposite, which I was kind of shocked about. Now I'd have to find that again, I guess, because I was kind of surprised. Let me see. I'm pointing my head down. And by the way, I got myself into a lot of debt again for all this equipment I'm ordered. I'll be in debt for another grand. I don't mean that pause. I'm just trying to look for it again. Okay, I found it. Yeah, it looks like Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think they go about a star system, but it says rating 52%, like 2.25 stars. And that's on American Horror Story. So I was kind of like, wow, that's pretty harsh for the original. But it did say 72% did like the pilot. And it was a 90-minute pilot, so... yeah, they actually put one of the, you know, I don't know if he's coming up later on, but they put him in the credits was the guy who plays in the Marvel movies. I don't even see him listed here. It's not, I saw him in person. I can't remember the guy's name. But yeah, they put him in the credits, and he wasn't even on the show, so at least the pilot. So that's kind of weird. Yeah, now I'm kind of curious, folks. And I got to explain the beginning of my show, too. I got to explain the beginning, because Evan Peters was in the credits for the show, but he wasn't on the pilot. So, and Lady Gaga, her character's named Elizabeth before, because I see it right now. I did like the characters. I love a lot about that show. Before I go any further, maybe I should just get this out of the way. That beginning, actually, I didn't even know existed. It came out the year I was born, 1967. Are You Afraid? I think it was called Are You Afraid of Diana Prince? So I'm just going to get that out of the way before I go any further, because I can go off about American Horror Story, because I really liked it. I might even just avoid these darker stories tonight because of that. I had it in my mix. I'm actually going through it right now. Let's go new tab. So apologize again. I do that a lot. I'm just looking for Diana Prince thing. Yeah, but it came out in 1967. Yeah, Who's Afraid of Diana Prince, 1967. There was an article I was going to read about it. They put it on one of those comicbook.com things or whatever, and I lost that story. I thought I bookmarked it. I didn't. But that's what I used to begin, and I apologize because I'm looking at it now. It's like 5 minutes long, so I'm really sorry for people who had to suffer through that. I just thought it was kind of entertaining because I didn't know it existed. It was the same people. They actually made a 5-minute short film, teaser film of Wonder Woman. That's who Diana Prince is. The same people who did Batman, because they figured, well, back in the 60s when they did the Batman series with Adam West, that it was so popular, they thought, well, now we need to make a superhero that pertains a woman. And obviously that would have been Wonder Woman. So here they, did that whole spiel, and hoping that somebody would see it and say, yeah, this is a great idea. We should pick up Wonder Woman, which obviously never got picked up. But then later on, it wasn't about less than 10 years later, or about 10 years later, is when that one did come out of Wonder Woman with, but not the same people who did, I don't think, did Batman. But the Batman series, Batman and Robin series from the 60s, they were hoping to do another series, but one on Wonder Woman. So it would have been pretty cool, but obviously then years later did come out the one, maybe it was, I'm not even sure now. But the one with, what do you call it? The one with Linda Carter, which actually I think I watched that a few times, but really never all the way through. I bought that like literally 3 times, and kind of let it go. The Wonder Woman series, but that was the reason I'm bringing that up. That was the beginning of my show again, the beginning theme. But going back, I watched American Horror Story again, and kind of didn't know what to expect, but I actually really enjoyed it. I thought Lady Gaga did a good job. She didn't have many lines, but she has the look for what they're trying to represent, because otherwise, no offense, but you would have got, what is it? I should have taken that down so quickly. Is it Angelica Houston? Because I want to make sure I get her name right. I am really bad with names. Yeah, I want to make sure I get her name right. Yeah, Angelica Houston. I was way off. I meant Jessica Lange. So, yeah. See what I mean? Yeah, Jessica Lange, they were looking for a replacement for Jessica Lange, so they picked Lady Gaga, and now they're saying Jessica Lange will be coming back eventually in the future. So I'm wondering if she kind of figured hey, once I leave, this show's going to fall apart. And probably even with just the pilot, Lady Gaga just did such an incredible job that now maybe she was wondering, hey, why did I even bother to leave? So I don't know. That's just my guesstimation. That's my word for today, my own word. But that's my educated guess. Maybe Jessica Lange was hoping, hey, once I leave the show, and you try to get somebody who hasn't acted before, which I heard. My mother said that she actually, Lady Gaga actually did take acting lessons. And I just known from watching some things in the past that when she puts her mind to something, she will, Lady Gaga, sure actually really, go, it's just the way she was brought up, that you have to discipline yourself to become the best you can be. If it's music or obviously acting, she's gonna put 100% into what she's doing at that time. And I think again she did a pretty damn good job. That's just me, but I think she did. But yeah. But that might have just maybe gave Jessica Lange a heads up. Hey, maybe you thought when you left the show that this would end everything, but obviously, the pilot did probably not too bad, considering. And I did hear one other thing, because the same directors, or the people involved, I should say at least to say, in making American Horror Story also did Glee, which I really liked. I got to go back and watch all those again, simply because I want to not only watch them all, I actually also am interested in, going through the series, because I think I only missed like 2 seasons. It was only on for 5 seasons. And, it was, to me, that wasn't on that long. And that's fine for me because I bought like the complete series that way. But, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I got to get through that. But they also do that TV series that just started not too long ago, and it was called The Scream Queens. And I'm sorry, because that actually has in there Jamie Lee Curtis, and I like her. Everybody thinks of her. Let me make sure I'm getting her name right, because I'm just really... Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. I just wanted to double check because, God, she's done some really, credible stuff. But I'm sorry, it's just that show she's on now. She's like a what do you call it? Wow, she's got big. She's plays like not a principal. She's in a college. She's like the dean of the college, and she's just really bad in the show. I mean, it's not her. It's just the show is just so horrible. And unfortunately, I'm sticking with it right now just because I already did buy like a season pass. There's no way I'm going to get my money back. But then I heard it's not going to do me any favor because I'm not going to get my money back. Because once you buy the pass, you're screwed. But they're actually already talking about canceling that show called Scream Queen. So it's like, oh, I hope they do. But I'm going to lose out on money, too, because I've had to pay full price for the first season. Like, they figured this show is going to do so well that, they charge people full price for it. I assume that's why they did that. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, in some ways, that's going to really suck, too, because I will be, like, up Schitt's Creek without a paddle because I would have, bought a whole season of the show and it gets canceled. So I think that's happened before. Some shows got canceled after I bought them. And they don't give you your money back. So it's not cool if they do that in some ways. But in other ways, I would not probably be that hurt because it's just such a bad show. But so they do that. Scream Queens, American Horror Story, and what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank right now. And Glee. So I was thinking, oh, there got to be something else, but no, there isn't. So, sorry, I'm looking at these pictures of Jamie Lee Curtis. She really aged really badly. She's got a nice body, I guess, but she's just really aged really badly. But going back to American Horror Story, there was a lot of mixed ingredients in her, which I really kind of appreciated. You have to enjoy like the old stuff to appreciate, these people were influenced to make this show by a multitude of different things, not just one thing, but many things. And they kind of mixed it up in like basically in a pot, and this is what you got. And this is supposed to be based upon a real hotel in California. They actually ironically played that song Hotel California as well in the episode. Anyway, what I gathered out of this is my own opinion, but it looked like they had taken a little bit from that movie called The Hunger. Because in that, the main vampire was a female vampire. So, there's nothing wrong with that. That's an incredible film. The show comes on at 10 o'clock at night. And I was like wondering, I didn't realize they would put something on that late, like a new show on at 10 p.m. That could have hurt it a little bit too, but they had to, because the show is like very close to being like people being nude and having sex scenes. I mean, it is really pushing the envelope, and I think If they would have pushed it any further, it would have probably been on at like 11 o'clock at night, and it would have been the first show. I mean, for a brand new show to be even on at 10 o'clock is just, makes it harder to get like good ratings, because usually people will tune in at 8 o'clock, not 10 o'clock, especially during a weeknight. But so I consider, it says right here, opening the big numbers for FX stood as the night's number 2 program in the 18 to 49 I guess 18 to 49 demo behind the Sisters Network Fox Empire, because that's a Fox show, American Horror Story. So, and the fact that they had to put it on at 10, that's going to hurt it in a lot of ways, but it still did really well. But it's meant for more adults anyway, trust me, more so than other ones. And it is really violent, but it reminded me of, like I mentioned, The Hunger. It reminded me of basically the detective from Hannibal Lecter. It reminded me, and some other things remind me of Hannibal Lecter in the first pilot. It actually reminded me, make sure I don't go dead. If you ever watch Twin Peaks, or even any David Lynch stuff, because he always had like this velvet type, red velvet kind of backdrop in these like fourth dimensional rooms and stuff, especially in mainly in Twin Peaks. It was actually in Eraserhead too, believe it or not. But it reminded me of that too. It reminded me of David Lynch style. Actually remind me also of The Shining. It had that ingredient of, these dead people in the hotel. So it reminded me of The Shining. So, they pulled from many different classic horror films, and there's nothing wrong with that. I thought it was, you can say, oh, yeah, it's not original, but that's not the point of the show. It's, in many ways it is. I mean, it's pulling ingredients from other classic films or books or stories. But the way they incorporated it all or put it all together, it worked very well. And I actually, because I'm not a big fan of all the American Horror Story stuff. At first, when I remember the first season even came out, I thought, oh, this is going to be really cool. They're doing some type of, horror TV show, a horror-based TV show. And it sounded really cool when I watched it. I was like, this isn't that great. But this is the first one I can honestly say, and yes, I'm very jaded, because I knew the fact that Lady Gaga is going to be on there. I'm already ready to buy the series when it comes out on Blu-ray. So, yes, I'm jaded in that way, but put that aside, I thought it was really good. So I would say for most people, you might as well just check it out, because I think it's worth it. It's not for the weak heart or weak stomach, weak whatever, because it is pretty graphic and it's very violent. So I'm just putting that out there too. Anyway, what was I going to tell you? This was pretty funny, but it says Paramount Vault offers feature films free on YouTube. Dread Central. People over at Paramount have given you another reason to stay inside and binge watch, introducing the Paramount Vault. So that's pretty funny. And you can find that on YouTube, apparently. So, yeah. I got a mix of stories, I'll admit to that. So I'm just always paranoid now with these mics. So, and I haven't fixed my levels quite right yet. So. Hey, I got a story here, folks, and I'm just going to go kind of pass through. Tomorrow I'm actually supposed to go down to Philadelphia to see at the Trocadero Kevin Smith. So him and he does his thing on his blogcast. You know why he's going to Philly, though, is because he's shooting that film in, the outskirts of Philly for Mallrats 2. That's the reason he's really, out there. That's the only reason he comes to Philly anyway. Anyway, there's this story I have up right now on the Overpass for America. .com, and it says Carson blasts Democrat Party history of racism, KKK, Jim Crow laws, hashtag 04A, hashtag news, hashtag Carson. The bullet point on this one is Ben Carson is hoping to awaken black voters to his campaign with a message of economic empowerment, saying the black community has been done a disservice by heeding political power overture from Democrats. And that's absolutely true. I mean, I hope this guy well in his quest, because it's true. Minority people, not just black people, but it seems like even Jewish people, for some reason, the people who support the Democrats don't realize you're basically just shooting yourself in the foot, because these Democrats, for the people who make up the Democratic voters, the actual people who run for those office positions give two shits about you people. And yet you keep on doing the same mistake over and over again and hoping to get a different result, which you're not going to get. Anyway, that article, again, was on overpassesforamerica.com, and it's dated October 1st, 2015, just in case you're interested in reading it. So it's a little bit old. This story, too, caught my attention, something different. It was on radiotimes.com, and she looks really hot. And I'm not that she's dressed hot. She's got a freaking T-shirt on. A baggy T-shirt, but it's this girl, Michelle Gomez. She plays the new Master, go by the name Missy. They made the Time Lord villain into a woman, and I just wish they would have made her a different character. But she's talking how she kissed in this article. This whole article is about Michelle Gomez kissing Peter Capaldi on the nose. I wish she would kiss me somewhere else, because I think she's like incredible looking. She's an older lady, but she's really hot. And she's real goofy, which I don't mind. And she goes by the character name. They changed the character of the Master into Missy, and I hope whoever takes over in years to come on the program of Doctor Who will, restore the Master to the way he was meant to be. Not make him a woman. And I have nothing against Michelle Gomez. I almost said Selena. She's very British. She's got that British voice. She is very hot, though. But I just don't want to see the Master as a woman. I'm sorry. It was meant to be a man. The character's man. Don't give. Why do you have to put that whole sex change thing into a show I've watched for 30-some years? I mean, that's really pushing it. Another political story. I don't want my stories to be that political tonight. It's going towards the weekend, so it was on Breitbart, and it said, honor-killing Syrian gang rape survivor murdered in Germany. And it was basically, it's about this woman. She goes to Germany. She works there for 2 years. She's one of these people who are a refugee, I guess. But she doesn't look like your typical refugee. She just got out of the country that, treated her wrongly. And apparently she got killed by her own family members. The horrifying story of a honor killing in Germany spotlights the sheer madness of important millions of unvetted, unassailant migrants. It says this victim, a 20-year-old woman, as Roskin M, is one refugee who had a strong case for asylum. She was gang raped in Syria. Immigrated to Germany 2 years ago and found employment with a German government as a translator. Well, apparently her family members, I'm just kind of going to gloss over this one. It'd probably be better than me trying to read it. But the whole thing, just the story was, apparently for some reason, her parents didn't appreciate her doing what she, the job she was doing, or just, maybe they felt she was a traitor of some sort. So they end up killing the poor woman, her own family, is what I gathered. So, yeah, there's not always happy endings to this stuff, and that was one that kind of will blindside you if you read it, and it's on Breitbart, so I'm just letting people know. The date, by the way, I should let you know, was October 7th, so get that out of the way. No. Oh, yeah, DeadCentral.com will give you an article on what's going on with, when I was talking about that just a moment ago, about Paramount Vault features films free on YouTube. So, trying to see what else I have that I want to discuss tonight. Oh, by the way, it was funny today. I tried to incorporate certain things that was going on in my little icon for my show tonight. So when I put it up, when this goes up, you'll see it. But now I'm officially not only in a lot of debt, but now my computer is not only the last of the Mohicans, it's the last seriously upgraded model of the Cheese Grater Mac, but I am now officially running 32 gigs of RAM, so that's pretty cool. I'm running 32 gigs of RAM, a hybrid hard drive, and 2 regular 4 terabyte hard drives, so I'm running altogether 12 terabytes once again. I could have went higher if I want with 8 terabyte hard drives, but I just don't want to waste some money and have the drive die on me eventually. And 32 gigs of RAM, as I mentioned, and NVIDIA GeForce GTX 770 with 2 gigs of RAM. So I ran a benchmark test, and not that it's that important, but yeah, it was definitely doing very well. It was holding its ground. I think it was getting like 60. The highest peak was like 62 frames per second on the graphics level. So that's not bad. I mean, you can get higher, but this is a Mac, and Macs, finally did get into the gaming part of it, more so than they did in the past, because they realized there's more people playing games on Macs. So, yeah, that's very impressive. Because I'm doing it again, I'm yawning. Most people would keep their PCs around at least to play games if you don't have a console. And now that's not the case. That reminds me, by the way, talking about consoles, they said that Sony actually dropped their price on their PlayStation in the U.S. Now it's down to $349. I haven't had that Sony for a while, and that's just a gaming system. That's all you can do is play games. So it's impressive, but, not that impressive. If I find the article, I did put that in my mix, I'll read it probably. And if not, then I just won't, because I think I might have closed everything down now. So I might have to just reopen Facebook, figure out what's going on. But, oh, here we go. Nope, not there. And I'm just trying to go through, because I might have, oh, here we go. I got to make a plug, too, for a friend again. I want to, I mean. No, I actually didn't put in my mix, but yeah, there's a couple articles that were posted, especially on Facebook. They were just talking about hey, we dropped the price on the PlayStation 3. I know, I keep on going back and forth. Well, I won't talk about it, but then I end up doing it anyway. Yeah, so yeah, if you're a gamer and stuff. Oh. Sorry, I caught my attention. Did I say PlayStation 3? I meant PS4. Just curious why they did it. PS4 big holiday lineup, low cost. PlayStation cutting the prices, $349. Sony is cutting their retail price in the PlayStation 4, $50, so it's $349.99 with the change set to take effect on October 9th. That's today, so the price is dropped as officially of today. The price will also occur same day in Canada, dropping the cost in the PS4 from $449 down to $343.99 because Canadian money is not worth as much, surprisingly, as American money. I don't know how. It's the first price drop in the PS4 in North America since Sony launched the console back in November 2013. So it's already been 2 years, because I had the PlayStation 4 for a little bit, realized I can't do anything with it, traded it in right away, and got the Xbox One. And not too long, it was a little bit after that, they actually made a white version that was not limited of the Xbox One, and for some reason I was like, what you can't get. And I've been liking white phones, white consoles and stuff. Don't ask me why, because that always used to be the norm, and then they decided to make everything black. I was like, well, I kind of do like the white, so I got the white one, and I'm using that now on the Xbox, though. So I guess, I don't know why they're dropping. Maybe they made enough money, but they're dropping the, excuse me, for whoever's interested. I mean, honestly, folks, it's not that bad, because if you want to play like games, you're probably better off buying a console in some ways if you can deal using a joystick. I don't like the joystick part. I like keyboards. But even at $500, which you would pay for, if it's still at that price, I don't know, for an Xbox, that's still far cheaper, believe it or not, than buying, buying the NVIDIA GeForce card. It's going to cost you about $1,200. So there's a big difference there. Hey, for people that are interested, I know I can't go. I'm beyond broke. And I'm actually starting a new debt line for myself. And now if I lose my job, that's not going to help. It said walkinstalkers.com now will be in New York and New Jersey. That's the people who bring the Walking Dead. They're actually going to combine themselves, believe it or not, with Vampire Diaries is what I saw somewhere. It's not on the link I'm looking at now. So I haven't watched Walking Dead in years, so I honestly can't mention these people's names or know anything about them. But if you want to go, it's in December 4th, the 5th, and 6th of this year at the Meadowlands Exposition Center and Syracuse, New Jersey, it says. So if you're interested, just letting you know. Hey, there was another thing. It was on the Morning Call. That's a local newspaper in Lansdale. Lehigh Valley Ghost Guide 2015, Haunted Houses and Other Halloween Attractions. So if you want to know, they got this article, and it shows you every haunted attraction for, you, your kids, or just yourself. Halloween is well underway in the Lehigh Valley with fun and games for both the daring and the timid. The favorites are back for 2015 in 2 regional attractions, the Bates Motel and Terror Behind the Walls, which honestly, everybody I talked to hated that Terror Behind the Walls. I actually really enjoyed it. I found it very informative, because Terror Behind the Walls is an old prison in Philadelphia where they do these haunted tours, and you can actually go, because Al Capone was in there too. You can actually, I liked it for the educational part. I mean, I don't mind being scared, but sometimes I don't need that scare tactic anymore. Sometimes I don't want to be scared. I just want to, have a good time, but not have somebody scare the shit out of me. So, I don't need that. So anyway, it goes down a list, and it's on the Morning Call's website if you're interested in stuff. Like, it says Barn of Horrors and Terror Trail, and there's one Bates Motel and the Haunted Hayride, Brighton Lodge Haunted House Horror, and Horror is Free, Love Valley, Field of Screams is another one, Fright Factory, Fright Fest, there's another Fright Fest, Halloween Haunt, Halloween House to the Hollow. Oh, in the Hollow. Haunted Mill Scream Park, Haunted Village, Hotel Horror, and Altered Nightmares. And by the way, there's a haunted house right down in the heart of Norristown, right before you get into Norristown. It used to be across from this gas station, and not too far from the 7-Elevens down as you enter Norristown. And I thought that was really cool. If they do it again this year, I'd like to check it out. Horror Fest, Jason Woods, Lehigh Valley Zombie Paintball Hayride, Reaper's Revenge, Stocktoberfest. These are all things you can go to. I'm not going into the details because there's so many of them. You know what? Yeah, there is way too many. I can't read all these. There's like a ton of crap going on around here. So in Pennsylvania, locally. So if you live in the local area, check out the Morning Call. Look for this article, again titled Lehigh Valley Ghost Guy 2015 Haunted Houses and Halloween Attractions. When was this posted? October 8th. So that was yesterday, right? Yeah, it was posted yesterday, so it's not too far to go back. And I would read them all, but I didn't realize there was like a plethora of them, so why should I? Hey, this looks pretty cool. I wanted to stick with the horror thing, but this is really cool. This has been hyped for a while. This was on October 7th, and it's that Sherlock Holmes. I like it. The one that's called Sherlock. Sherlock and Watson go back into Victorian times special trailer. That's on Entertainment Weekly. They've really been pushing this whole thing. He's going to do a timepiece that appropriately fits Sherlock in the proper, I guess, century of when the character was supposed to be around. So it looks really cool. They've been talking about that, but now it's getting closer to the time I guess it's going to be aired. For those people who like horror movies, I'd love to go to this, but I might just go if I want to watch these. The classic horror movies are being played down at Exhumed Films in Philadelphia. MOCA presents the Universal Monster Rally. So they're going to have a Monster Fest of all the classic horror movies that are in black and white. And that's like The Werewolf, Frankenstein, The Mummy, and The Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is really cool. But, I mean, I guess it's not too bad of a section to go to, but it is in Philadelphia. And it's like $12. It's not that bad. It's on the Saturday, I believe, too. Yeah, Saturday, October 17th at 7:30 p.m. It'd be cool to go see those. But these marathons are forever. I mean, they're really long. I don't know how long this one's going to be. And it's not that much money. But I'm almost half tempted to cheese out and just buy, like, they put a box set Blu-ray out of all the movies for like $30. It's more money, but you can watch it at home at least. But if you're interested in going, it is down in Philly. It says, in case you want to know where the address is, it's 531 North 12th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19123. And you can get the tickets available at www.brownpapertickets.com to find the tickets from Exhumed Films. They're going to have contests and stuff because, it's a Halloween event. And then, even though it's earlier, then our main attraction, it's going to be the Halloween costume contest. The main event's going to be Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Frankenstein, let's see what else there is because there's some other films. King Kong versus Godzilla, Alien versus Predator, okay. I thought they were going to be showing these, but it says they're kind of comparing it to these other ones. It says Freddy versus Jason. So I assumed they were going to show these. Maybe they're not going to give you the list of films. I thought they usually kind of do. But, yeah, it's going to be all the classic horror movies. So, and you can get the Exhumed Films is really cool. Me and a friend went a couple years in a row. We never went, I think, for Halloween, though. But it's $12. It's not that bad. It's just, I hate going down in Philadelphia. I'm just really cranky about that. But I'm looking at it now. It says, now I know what the abbreviation is. The University Monster Rally, $12. We'll call no additional fee. And with tax, I guess, it's $13.41 with the fees. I mean, I'll have to think about that. Not exactly what I wanted to do, so. But if you're interested, I just figured I'd throw it out there for people. That was Exhumed Films, by the way. You can see it on Facebook. You can find it elsewhere, too, Exhumed Films. Hey, I'm going to do this right now because I want to give my friend Ryan, who made that film Agony, he seemed to get somebody else to review his film, which is great for him. So that was on Friday, October 9th. I don't think it was October 8th when it was actually the review one up for Ryan's film Agony. And it's at horrorsociety.com. So if you want to check it out, please do. Try to help Ryan out a little bit. It talks about his film once again. I saw it. I really enjoyed it. So I haven't watched it lately, but I did enjoy his film. I watched it like twice through, so maybe 3 times. So check it out. Hey, this is really cool. This is not horror, but it is on iHorror, so it's going to go on the next on my mix. They're finally going to release, after all these years, the X-Files Heads to Blu-ray complete series in December. That's got to cost a lot of money. We're living in a world where very few movies and TV shows in the past are being left off on Blu-ray. I wish they would do that with Buffy, because X-Files I kind of scratched my head on because I really never watched the series. Not saying it's bad, because I know the show was really, really good. How many seasons? It was on for 9 seasons. But honestly, I just don't know. I'd be kind of skeptical in buying it on... I'm going to see what the price is on Amazon. But the thing is, what was I going to say? Buffy, I probably wouldn't even think twice about, because I just love Buffy, and everybody's been raving, or complaining about it, I should say. When are you going to put Buffy out on Blu-ray? Because a lot of us really diehard horror fans would love to see that. But I guess it may never happen. I don't know. It'd be nice. Let me see. I'm just trying to abbreviate. I'm trying to look what the price is going to be. So give me a moment. I've been doing a lot of pausing tonight. Maybe I'm just really upset, but what I heard, I could be losing my job, especially nowadays. I mean, that place I work might be closing down soon anyway. No, they don't actually have a... They're not going to release a date even, or a pre-order date cost. Yeah. I was hoping it says Fight the Future X-Files Blu-ray, but yeah, it's going to be a complete box set. Movie pack. So, yeah, I wish I gave you guys an idea. Well, I guess you get all the X-Files, the complete series that's on the conventional DVDs are $124. Now, sometimes, believe it or not, maybe if you're lucky, you can get this stuff on Blu-ray actually cheaper, because Blu-rays can do that. I'm just doing one more attempt, folks, so I don't mean to keep on pulling away. No, they're actually... I'm sorry about that. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. It says 202 episodes, frequently stellar science fiction and horror television is still collection, even for a suggested price, retailed at, it looks like $300. I could be wrong, but it looks like, I mean, I think it's just guesstimation at this point. They can throw a ballpark figure out, and then that price can obviously change. But yeah, I think X-Files was really big back in the day when I was even in. Oh wait, it says you can pre-order collection right now, so there is a web link. I'm gonna see if I can give you folks. I actually put it on Facebook for people who want to see it. It says it'll be out on the 8th of December. So if you want to know, I am posting it on my Facebook page so people can see the link. But otherwise, just go to X-Files Blu-ray.com and it'll come up. But yeah, it says pre-order now. They just have a link, and that's all it is. It's just to pre-order the X-Files. If you're a big diehard fan, you can pre-order it and have it shipped out right away, I guess. They even have an Instagram. That's kind of weird for the pre-order thing. So I'm following all of them. I think it's kind of cool. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to follow because I've never seen that you could follow something on Instagram on X-Files for the pre-order of the Blu-rays. Maybe it's not that, but it's just kind of funny either way. Yeah, let me see what the price is, folks. But it says, for the first time ever, experience the X-Files series on Blu-ray. Relive all 9 seasons in high definition and uncover new mysteries with over 23 hours of exclusive special features. Okay, so that's not bad at all. The pre-order price, actually, I don't know where they came up with this $300 price. You can buy it directly from Fox. It says foxconnect.com. Your price is $150. Save now. Yeah, it is normally $300, but if you pre-order right now, you can get the whole series for $150 as a pre-order. So I don't know, because they will raise the price eventually. It almost makes me tempted to see what kind of payments they take. Proceed to checkout. So it's $150. I'm just looking. Why would you need a special code for that? Connect with Facebook. So if you have a Facebook account, you can connect to that. Yeah, I guess you have to. I was trying to see if I could give people an idea on the price. But hey, it's $150. Who can ask for anything more? But yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad for 9 seasons of a show for $150. If you have the cash and you're a big fan, I would probably say get it before they raise the price to normal price to $300. So yeah, I just threw that one in. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't read all my stories and make sure everything else is going right on my thing. Yeah, that was the last of my stories. I'll leave it at that for the weekend because I'll be seeing Kevin Smith later tonight, and that'll be interesting. And I'll probably be more timid on trying to harass the poor man as I've done in the past. And yeah, because I don't want to cause myself any more bad karma than I already had given myself for this. And it's almost 4 o'clock. So, folks, thank you. If you do listen to my show, I appreciate it. Just tell other people who want to be bored to tears and get me some ratings. I'm halfway joking. So, everyone have a good weekend, good for Friday, and I am signing off. I'll probably won't be back until the weekend at some point. And if I can, I gotta check out my advertisement. Oh God, I'm yawning too much, folks. My advertisement at the Colonial Theater. I need to do that at some point in time when I can do so. So everyone, once again, this is Walter of iWalter, and I am signing off. Have a good one.